missing one thing. That's it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Olimoleague Weekly. Hi, Rifkin.
Hi. So, I'm a little bit worried that the problems we had last week are going to be presented here again today for me. Because I have disconnected from the Battle.net 3 times and have had to download 3 separate updates in the process of waiting for things.
Huh. Well, that doesn't sound right.
No.
Also,
So, how come we're doing this one instead of the other one?
I'm guessing one of them didn't show up, and that's why she asked for a backup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me go delete a Rooney my tweet a Rooney.
Yeah, that happens. So, I do need to fix the Skype thing. Maybe no, that's not what I wanted. Though, for some reason. Nope, not that one either. Nope, not that one either. This one. Yeah, there we go. Amazing. Boop.
So I did not sleep going to the Olimoleague as I usually would do. And a very large contributing factor to that is the fucking weekly mutation. It was at 8 p.m. I'm like, you know what? I'll give this thing 1 or 2 tries. We'll see how it is randoms. Maybe I'll find a cool new strategy. No. I just kept getting madder and madder and requeuing and going again and losing over and over. And shout outs to this guy in chat, by the way, Bangdoza. He was somebody I played with. We lost. It was so fucking frustrating. Oh my god.
Wow, I'm really surprised you tried doing that again.
Yeah, well, what was supposed to be 1 game turned into 3 hours, and I'm like, well, now I'm not gonna have enough time to sleep for the Olimoleague at all. I'm just gonna have to stay up for it. So I got a can of sugar-free Red Bull. I've got a leftover can from this morning's cast of Red Bull. I'm gonna hope that carries me through several hours. But my fear is, despite all this preparation, I don't know if I'll be able to do this today.
Well, you know, that's okay. You know, I obviously prefer to have you co-casting with me, but
I'm almost wondering if, because of the frame rate I get in game, if it would be better for you to screen region the fucking game over Skype and me cast from that with like 5 FPS if the problem persists. We don't know if it's gonna happen yet or not.
yeah, well,
I'm hoping it doesn't.
we'll do something, I suppose, when that occurs. But yeah, this game that we're casting, as we did not, we did choose another one, but I guess it's not gonna happen. Was going to be TAiLS versus Ryung, and that was the backup. The actual initial plan was MC versus Chan Kim, but I guess one of them didn't show up, so I'm not sure which one didn't. Which
I
one's
think
gonna get walked over.
if this goes according to plan, this should be Ryung's series. I think in the matchup, he's a lot better at TvP nowadays, and I think furthermore, he's just the better player of the two of them.
Stop it, Alarak. Stop it. Okay.
Don't you know you can just go to any other screen zombie grub and it'll make him stop?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually accidentally had that on in the background while they were setting up in the movie theater for Kings of the North, and all you heard was, ah! Like, super loud in the movie theater.
That must have been so annoying. Oh
No,
my god.
I was like the only one yelling, and then eventually they muted StarCraft, I guess, on the volume mixer, which is whatever works, but yeah, they also could have just changed it over. Whatevs. I think it's actually MC that didn't show up, because I'm looking, and Chan Kim's here for surezies, but MC's not so muchies. Oh well. That's a little disappointing. Like, MC would have been cool to watch and whatever, but, I mean, we still have Innovation, which I think was everyone's... Oh my god.
I'm really interested in that sort of, like, the TvT matchup that follows, right? Like, Innovation versus Natural, assuming that's what it ends up being. Natural, we've got a lot of hype for. We've been watching him kind of grow up in the league. He's been getting better and better when each of these weeks go by, and TvT especially being his, like, key matchup. I don't think he's in a position to, knock down Innovation, but it'll be cool to see how he does against him.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Natural, I mean, he still couldn't really compete against Byun, for instance, and I would put, you know, Byun and Innovation sometimes on the same level, and sometimes even Innovation being better. I mean, Byun looks up to him as a senpai, right? But he does throw up a very good match, and he has been getting better and better. So it actually, if he does end up beating Innovation, that wouldn't surprise me 100%, because just because there's a lot of cases where, especially the Korean pro gamers are very wonky, whether they're good on not just online, offline, but like small cup, huge deal, right? Because obviously Innovation played in Shoutcraft, and he had a huge winning streak, and that's great for him. But sometimes for the Olimoleague, they actually are surprisingly disappointing. So I'm just setting myself up for like another Maru or something like that. Just getting like, yay! Oh, it actually didn't play that well. It feels bad.
So while we're waiting for this to get started, I got a question for you, Zombie Grub.
Why? What?
Who are you casting with today?
Oh, I already fixed that like 30 seconds ago.
I'm just like, oh, feels bad, man. The nameless co-caster.
Yep, the nameless one. But I figured it out. I'm smart like that.
I am so smart.
I really should stop drinking coffee. I mean, like, this coffee's, like, pretty good because, like, I make it, like, you know, hella sugary and put a little bit of creamer in it.
Oh, that reminds me.
It does not make me feel good.
I bought a game on Amazon today that I'm 100%, like, I paid for, like, rush shipping so we could get it in time for TwitchCon.
What game? Like a card game or like a...
It's like this, like, Russian roulette thing with the pie, and it'll, like, put a pie in your face, like...
Oh, I've actually seen pictures of that. Or videos of that. So
well,
what, you gonna buy a pie in TwitchCon?
No, but what you're supposed to do is put, like, whipped cream on it. So
yeah,
just, like, find, like, I don't know, whipped cream at a store or something, and... I think if we grab, like, 2 other people to play with us, go to the hotel room, play, like, stupid roulette or something and film it, it'll be fun.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, maybe.
I had heard about games like this. Like, there's also the one where you put a balloon, right, in like, a gun thing, and it'll eventually pop the balloon. It's, like, it doesn't fire a bullet, it just puts a pin into the balloon.
I assume so, yeah.
Like, I've always liked the idea of those sort of things. It was Pi one that I'd never heard of it before. I just thought it was so funny just watching these people, like... You gotta put your head. The best part of it is you have to put your face in this like cardboard cutout of a really dumb looking thing, so it just looks super extra silly.
Yep. Yeah, I think I've seen that too. So, yay, things to do, I guess. Okay, well, everyone says they're ready.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for the Korean caster studio people.
Well, you know, they ask, and then everyone says yes, and then they say something else in Korean.
Yeah, what do they expect us to know what that says?
Yeah,
well,
you know, I figure I should know what that says, but I don't. Oh well. Pretty sure it just says, thanks for waiting, and then we continue to wait.
Nice. It's like being on hold for the phone. Feels good, man.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever, like, I haven't had to be put on hold in a while. The last time I called something that could put me on hold was like my bank to tell them that I was going to be in Canada.
What I really hate is when you'll call like a food place and it's like it's rushing, they're busy, like whatever, like you understand you're gonna go on hold as you dial in because it's like 6 o'clock, right? But what tilts me is not being kept on hold, but it's like they pick up like, hi, hold please, and then they put you on hold immediately, and then like 2 seconds later, someone completely different answers the phone like, hey, how can I help? I'm like, do I really need to go on hold? Like, what the fuck was that? Like,
oh, I've never had that problem. I've actually, I mean, my parents started to make me order everything, you know, when I was like
too. Like somehow
18 or something.
you hit like 50 years old and you just like become scared of the phone or something. Like I have to order all the fucking food all the time.
It's funny because
and I pay for it now too because apparently I'm old enough to do that. But it's just like really fucking annoying to have to. I'll be like, here's $20. I'll get dinner. They're like, great. Can you order it though? I'm like, I'm paying for it, and they're like, yeah, but.
See, that's what my parents use on me.
It's like phone agoraphobia. I don't know.
Well, I used to be afraid of the phone. Like, not like afraid of the phone, but like I didn't want to talk to someone on the phone because I thought it was awkward. Which I still don't really like to, okay? I don't think anyone in a generation like super likes to, except like you, basically.
The only reason I would say I don't is because phone quality sounds really poop, and I've been spoiled by like high quality headphones and stuff my whole life, like sitting on the computer all day. So it is legitimately hard to talk to people on the phones when you can't understand what they're saying sometimes.
Yeah. But just like they just started making me, and then their excuse was always, well, you know, we're paying for it, so you got to call. And I was like, okay, I guess that's fair. And they also made me pick it up too. But I mean, that's fair as well. But I've never been put on hold. Like, of the places that I call in our area, I don't think they've ever gotten that busy. the Chinese place we always go to is like literally never busy, but just consistent flow of like traffic. Dude, that's so weird, man. The place has been there for like 8 years at this point, and like I realized a couple like deliveries ago, or pickups rather, takeout, that like the kid that was in elementary school, like both working at the restaurant and doing her homework, is now like a teenager, and like it freaks me out. Like, no, no, stop old, getting old.
Time's a weird thing, man.
Okay, now we're ready. I don't know what we're waiting for. I guess TAiLS, but yeah, I mean, I thought he said go. Whatever. It's best of 3. It's TvP, and it's on Frost. Start things off.
And for those who don't know what I was complaining about earlier, we'll find out as this progresses. For one reason or another that there doesn't seem to be an actual reason for, when I'm on Korea last week, when we were casting the Olimoleague, I just started getting like 4 FPS while streaming. It was bad. And then after, I thought, okay, well, if I turn the stream off, Zombie Grub takes over streaming, they'll fix it. It did not. It only got worse from there. So I'm hoping whatever connection weird issues I'm having with Korea won't persist. We'll find out. But spawning here in the top right side of the map, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the blue Terran player, Ryung.
In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he has TAiLS. Oh my god.
That's pretty safe to say we like Ryung for a lot of different reasons. You know, old Axiom boy, got to see him kind of get better at the game as well. Got picked up by another team in Korea and has been steadily improving throughout 2016. I think TAiLS, however, has unfortunately been a bit stagnant in his weekly cup play. We don't see anything really exceptional out of him. And I don't think he's a bad player, and I hope he never stops playing, but it just sucks that it feels like TAiLS now feels the exact same tier of player that TAiLS 2 years ago was.
Yeah, that pretty accurately sums up everything, I suppose. I mean, the landscape was very different 2 years ago, but it really is just like, it feels like the same person. So, I mean, there's like the whole thing of like, are these guys retired? Are they not? Are they just really into the game and they like playing it and they want to win a couple of bucks? Probably. Are they trying to impress a team to get, you know, hired, to get picked up? Probably not. I'm thinking of like TAiLS, but like a couple other guys too that just come back and show up and whatnot, but TAiLS especially. So it's like, you know, we can fault them for messing up or, you know, not improving, but it's also like, well, they're the ones that can maybe win like 20 bucks every week just by being casual, and we're not.
See, I feel terrible because I am not a player. I'm not in the player mindset, but I feel like if I was in these guys' shoes and I was doing the same sort of thing, my goal for these tournaments wouldn't become to win. It would be just knock as many people out as I could on the way. Make myself feel good about it too.
I mean, that might be some of it as well. I mean, I'm sure that if TAiLS beats Innovation, for instance, he's going to be like, yeah. But I think he also, of course, wants some of the money, especially because the Olimoleague pays out a really decent prize pool. But TAiLS also one of those Koreans that participates in the European Cups as well. Anyway. Reaper was unable to scout correctly just because Ryung did not bother SCV scouting. Okay, so he knows that wasn't actually where the Protoss was because he saw the natural, and even if the Nexus wasn't a Nexus first, obviously it'd still be on location building, but this was a Nexus first, and TAiLS kind of just got away with it. If it's like a 2-player map and you do that, the Reaper should be able to get some serious damage on your mineral line, like 2-3 grenades, probably 1 or 2 probe kills, unless you have some pretty good control. But this actually looks like nothing went wrong, basically. And that's not devastating for Ryung or anything, but now he's also going to have trouble getting in for a scout. Potentially. I mean, there's a stalker there, but like he actually could probably leap up and get it.
It might even be just a little bit too early for him to feel comfortable going in there, too. It's not necessarily about seeing the Twilight Councils, but seeing what just popped out of the Robo type thing. But I
mean, he's going to have a secondary scout, you know, like a Wood of Mine drop is going to see whatever you're doing on 2 bases. Now, if he still thought it was 1 base, that's suspicious, and that's when he definitely suicide the Reaper, but he does it anyway. I think this was actually not just checking tech, but also preparations for the Widow Mine drop. Like, hey, where are your pylons? To see if they can actually abuse anything. And yeah, I think he definitely could. This one pylon powering the Twilight Council is pretty far away if you just drop off to the right here.
Yeah. I don't know, a little bit suspicion had to be arisen though when, you see how the probes get pulled to deal with the Reaper like that.
Yeah, that's probably a little suspicious, but Widow Mine is just dropped off. It's not gonna get too many kills. The saturation's not quite there yet, but like I said, the pylon isn't ready to go. Now 4 or 5 stalkers, especially, yeah, if they focus fire on a Marine or on the medevac, they're gonna clean this up, but Ryung did focus fire 4 probes in addition to the Widow Mine. Here's the other complicated spots. There's the scout on the additional gateways too, and now he knows that TAiLS is planning a counter, a Blink Stalker counter. He needs to get that tank out, and he needs to get good position.
That's actually another really good part about this attack. Not just the scouting to see, like, okay, extra gateways are coming down, but you could still be guessing, like, what type of unit is there. And the fact that he already saw, like, 4 or 5 Stalkers in play should pretty much solidify in his mind that this is going to be Blink Stalkers. Nobody goes for an Adept all-in building 5 Stalkers to start the game.
Yeah, that too. So a little bit awkward. TAiLS never got any scouting whatsoever, so he should know that Ryung is in the top right just based off the way the medevac came in.
Well, he's also going to find out now as he's observing the top left.
But this observer only just got here, so he might have figured that it was something like, yeah, it could have been top left, and he just took that type of path. But now he's confirmed. It just is unfortunate because I think he would have already wanted... I feel like he would have wanted a slow pylon, but War Prism is now on the way as Blink finishes up. I would say that even if it's not delayed, because it's delayed by like 30 seconds, he could have started trying to attack a little bit sooner. Maybe poke at the bunker a little bit. Ryung was already going on the defensive, right? Like, he did get the scout.
What's interesting about this, though, is Ryung is really well... Excuse me? There's that tiredness kicking in. He's really well set up to defend one location hardcore. And he'll just annihilate whatever comes that direction. But he is split... He's not split badly. I like where the tanks are right now. They cover most of the cliff face. He's got a Marine there too that looks like it's falling down the cliff, actually. It's kind of like just chilled on the ledge. I don't know. It's actually in the ledge. Okay.
Okay.
He got buried alive. Anyways, point of this is he's ready to take this attack. The worst part was not being able to maneuver, but now he can. He's got his medevacs out. He's got that Liberator as well to position. If Ryung dies to this attack, I will be very ashamed of Ryung, is I think the way I'll classify this.
He should be totally, absolutely prepared, and that's just, it kind of sucks for TAiLS, because honestly, even like a 3 or 4 gates counter, Liberator gets in, can sometimes kill the Terran player, but with a bunch of different gateways, like, oh, he's attacking the barracks.
Yeah, his tanks were in a good spot. He picked them up to move them, unfortunately, as we see. That let these Stalkers get a lot of free damage in. Place on top of those tanks. This is scary. Ryung's in a lot of trouble right now.
This tank is literally attacking his own barracks the entire time.
Really? Was that clicked onto it?
Yeah.
That's awkward.
It is awkward. Like, I was like, yeah.
Tank took forever to unload. I'm not sure what's going on with Ryung right now.
Oh, he definitely messed up the defense. He probably didn't expect so many Blink Stalkers because he scouted. He was like, oh, you're going to transition or something.
Even then, that pickup's still not going to be enough. 8 SCVs are going to be all that remains. Even if the bio... Like, when the bio cleans this up, that Liberator did not do enough counterattack damage. 9 probes for 45 workers killed. Actually,
I would say that Ryung should not tap out of this game, for sure. Especially if TAiLS keeps warping in Stalkers instead of Adepts. Had he had 7 more Adepts, I think he could have done a lot more, like... I don't think he could have killed the army, because medevacs are pretty good, but he could have gotten the rest of the SCVs, I think, and continued to, you know, keep Ryung in the back foot, but now Ryung can try and drop.
So I agree that he shouldn't tap out. My problem is, though, his mules are already halfway dead. That's his only income right now. He's trying to build some SCVs. He's really got to pick and choose, though. Either try and recover economically or go for a big attack. Because one or the other, but not both, will work.
I think he's actually pretty okay. The Liberator could still try and deny mining. And if it doesn't deny mining, it could soak up a Mothership Core, Photon Overcharge. She's actually 200, so it's probably not going to be the case, but I don't know. Like, I believe really in the power of Terran.
He's really keen on getting the Warp Prism, and I think if he actually knocks this Warp Prism down, that's when we'll start seeing that counterattack. We do, of course, have it getting very dangerously low. Marine's going to try and focus it down. Marauder's being chased. And looks like in the main base, he'll finally clean this up. Yeah, the Warp Prism goes down. But, okay, here's where the situations are really funky, right? Ryung's not only got +1, not only got Stim, but he does have 50 army supply right now. That's his current massive advantage over TAiLS as he pushes across the map. TAiLS, on the other hand, has so much money that if he can defend against what Ryung's about to throw at him, TAiLS is going to come out so far ahead on this. But it's going to be so difficult. I mean, overcharges go a long way. I'm not sure if that's going to overcome double the army supply, though.
I'm just looking at, like, the income. I mean, actually, like, check the graphs. And, like, TAiLS has been winning on the graphs, but, like, right now, the income is actually pretty similar in the minerals. It just says gas has so much more income.
That was also a ton of mules he had banked up, too. I mean, he dropped, like, 4 or 5.
No, it's all gone. That's why I checked.
They just died.
Oh, I was checking, and I was like, they're all gone. But you're right, he dips down about 300. Ah, the point is, like, he like, especially because it's 2 bases and they were both running out of their main.
That overcharge does, like, nothing. The pylons focus on immediately. Liberators get to set up, and the Stalkers have to blink away from this. If the Stalkers can't blink through this Liberators, they will leapfrog into the natural. Mothership Core tries to get focused down. Unfortunately, Ryung can't quite grab that just yet.
Mm-hmm. As long as, like, Ryung could actually just contain him here and, like, make sure he doesn't get a 3rd base and still probably be able to resaturate his bases. You know, he can obviously lift his main. If it does get mined out, he'd probably still be okay.
He's going to try and go for the backside. I like this out of TAiLS, but the problem is those Liberators are still really well set up to cover the bio. They're just going to run and dodge around the Liberators. No overcharges, no defense. TAiLS being run ragged, and Ryung, what?
Yeah.
I love this.
GG.
Well played. GG.
Yeah.
I really, truly did not expect that to go well for him after that attack, but I guess you're right. Like, TAiLS choosing to warp in Stalkers over your Adepts, that's not a fight that they can take for some Marauders.
Yeah, I think that was one of the problems. He could have definitely tried to, like, continue running around with the Adepts, save the Warp Prism for later, and again, Adepts, not Stalkers. Instead, he really committed extra to it against Bio, because he thought he was winning. Like, his units were actually, like, at a glance, you couldn't tell, I think, who had, like, the superior army until suddenly all of his Stalkers melted, and he was like, oh, wait. Oh, he does have, like, some bio left over, and oh shit, those Minivacs were healing him pretty well. And, of course, you know, Ryung even had +1 melee at a certain point. I don't remember when it finished, but...
Oh, that's really impressive. I didn't even know Terran got melee.
Oh, melee. I don't know why I said melee. But he got +1 attack, so...
You've been hanging around too much Zerg, Zombie Grub.
Clearly, yes, that is true. I was literally surrounded by Zerg.
Yeah,
I was hanging out with Zerg.
There was Tempo, there was Steadfast, there was Scarlet. Just like, man, Kings of the North was like all Zerg.
Cat and Annie, which I felt betrayed.
I guess they're still Zerg, yeah.
Yeah, I really thought Cat was Protoss, but she gets hit a lot, I guess. Anyway, so I was just hearing a bunch of complaints.
A lot, I guess. Like, that's a common type, like.
Because she's so into Zest, people assume that she's Protoss.
Oh, okay, that actually makes sense. I thought you meant like her face just looks so Protoss, you know, like she's
actually
all over her.
It's actually like a very bad stereotype that all the girls in StarCraft are Zerg, and it's being proven basically because they just went over like all these girls that are Zerg. But
who aren't Zerg? Let's go over that. Who isn't? This Miss Magitech, she plays Protoss, right?
I guess so.
I think. I actually don't know. Shit, I should know this. Tracy, I don't know what Tracy plays right now.
I'm pretty sure she plays Protoss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is too, but my brain's having a big part. Okay, and you play Terran.
I mean, are we talking about people that still play, or like everyone? People like play. Aphrodite and...
I don't care about people like Aphrodite and stuff, like, it's whatever.
Well, I just don't...
Well, even if we include them, it's still, okay, yeah, Aphrodite, and then...
Flo is Terran.
That's true, and Flo still, she obs, and I know she plays casually because I bumped into her in the ladder a few times, so...
Go. Stop asking if we're ready. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate it.
You know, it's a nice thing, and there's no reason to be annoyed at it, but I totally get annoyed with it every time. It's just like, oh, please just assume we're ready. Because what's worse is like the one time we do need a moment, they never listen. I'm not saying the Olimoleague, I'm just saying generally other people, like...
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not like they're starting the game immediately, usually. So, like, if we really did need 30 seconds, we can usually type it before then. But that's some very, like, specific complaining. I don't actually mind that much. I only mind if they start minding because I'm alt-tabbed. You know, I'm, like, looking at the Twitch alerts, or I'm looking at the chat to make sure the audio is okay, or I'm looking at your face to get reaction on the actual obs, and then I don't realize that they're like, hey, 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 listen. And then I'd be upset if they get upset, but they're fine.
Annoying Navi.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's New Gettysburg, and in the bottom right, it was his map choice. It is the red Protoss, TAiLS.
And his opponent leading 1-0 after a fantastic Game 1 recovery. It's going to be the blue Terran Ryung.
Yep. I'm really glad he didn't tap out. I think that, you know, Terrans have been in enough situations where we've lost a ton of SCVs. That's, it's certainly worthwhile to learn to evaluate your army and your tech and, yes, your mules before you decide to actually tap out. I know, like, everyone's always like, mules are pretty cool, right? And, like, that certainly kept him at about 1,000 income baseline.
Well,
but
that's actually a key point, by the way. I really like that because it did keep him at the mineral count that he needed to be, but it really was a limited time. Like, if that game stretched on 5 more minutes, the SCV count would have been bandaged, but he wouldn't have had that mule carry last that long.
That's true, yeah. But even, like, the mules bumped up to 1,300. Once they went away, he was at 1,000 pretty evenly, and, like, I've never even considered this. Is the graphs? Oh, we don't have graphs this time. Feels bad. Okay, but the graphs are mineral income or combined income? They're combined, right?
Wait, sorry, ask again? I totally...
The income graph is not just minerals. It's gas included.
I think so, actually. I believe so, yeah.
So that was actually the biggest disparity in them, was that TAiLS was mining like 500 more gas than Ryung, but of course Ryung didn't really care. All I needed was Marines to coordinate with the medevacs that didn't get sniped, because what I was going to go into is, like, despite what the mules did, or, you know, if he could have survived without them, blah, 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 I always feel like mules are given too much of the credit for a comeback of the Terran, because I honestly feel it's much more often the power of medevacs. And if you actually snipe the medevacs and they, like, have to stim across the map, then that's, like, super effective. But
yeah, I can agree with that.
TAiLS was not thinking of that, so there were still 4 medevacs, plus he, you know, because there was medevacs, he could build liberators, which helped out a lot too with the main push. Just this, that, and the other, but that is one of the things that TAiLS gave up doing that push, was a lot of tech. Yes, he had Blink. I think he was trying to get Resonating Glaives, but he had no Forge upgrades. He was going to have no Immortals to help out versus the Marauders, and of course, just too few Stalkers to help out against the Liberators.
Big thank yous, by the way, to Superhero. Just resubbed for 11 months. Says 1 more month to the 1-year anniversary. Woo! And then we can throw Partoofs at your face, dude.
Hooray! I mean, that's not how I deliver them. But
okay, you will receive a Partoof by mail in a lame, regular fashion.
I could try and convince the mailman to, like, throw it at you, but I don't know, man. Uh-oh. Looks like Tracy plays Zerg.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it feels, I actually, maybe I just caught her stream once when she was playing for us, or when she was getting coached by Rodder. Like, I have no idea, but I could have sworn last time I saw her.
She's currently dead to me, guys, so I don't really care. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so that is actually a really big stereotype. So.
I don't actually mean it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I assume people would know that. Anyway.
Yeah. It's...
and it's so weird too. I don't know why everyone chooses Zerg. So, big gateway attack. Now, this is coming earlier.
Easy race. It's so obvious.
No, but you gotta consider it's been 3 expansions over 6 years of meta.
You know
Zerg has not always been the easy race.
I wanna get into a deep discussion about this, but it really, like, for me, comes down to the same question for WoW, right? Like, why do all girls play healers? Like, I know there's the exceptions.
Oh,
but...
I could actually go into that super. Actually, that would be a very interesting thing to get into, but I feel like Zerg is just it's a little different. Anyways, drop isn't going to do very much, but did it scout all those gateways? Yes, it did. It went right through that main base, so he is able to prepare a little bit. He was already getting a tank, even a second one. I do think that Ryung was kind of on to TAiLS' idea of just like, you know, I'm going all in, I'm going all in, I'm going all in, because otherwise you don't really need more than one tank, and in some cases, you don't even need a tank. Like, if they're not going to counter you after a drop, then, you know, there's actually not super much reason, unless you're the type to do tank pushes, which Ryung can be. But defensively, these things are fantastic. Okay, the stalkers took forever. They didn't even catch it. It's pretty lame. So TAiLS just changes his mind and goes for a macro game. This is not going to work out too well. I'll tell you that right now. Like, great, you have production. Great, you're gonna have a warp prism. I think the other one died. It did. But you know, it's just it's coming so late now. Again, this is pretty techless. No toilet accounts, no forge. Not quite yet. And Ryung should just be fine. Fine and dandy.
Well, for the way this is going to develop, I mean, we're not seeing any weird out of Ryung, right? He's not the type of guy to throw down 3 star parts and get you off guard. I think it is going to be pretty standard play. What I would like to see, though, is... Well, first off, I like seeing this. Nice control in the middle of the map. Unloading this Adepts is actually worse. That's actually worse, in my opinion, than losing them in the Warp Prism. Because that's now about 6 or whatever supply. Okay, there's no reason to do this. I was going to say, leaving the Adepts there might be better, because that's 6 or so supply from TAiLS that he can't use at all. Those don't get off the island magically. They don't. I don't know why Ryung is sticking around with this, to be honest.
I don't know why Ryung is. He really doesn't have much reason to do this little cute maneuvering. But TAiLS, he dropped him not just because that's I think the habit, you know, get him out before they die, but also because he's getting another Warp Prism. This will be his 3rd Warp Prism.
It's so funny to me that he actually goes for that, because I just don't think there's a... I look at that, and that's like a benefit to have those there, not a detriment. But anyways, whatever. As we advance forward, Blink is going to be quite nice to try and catch a lot of what's going on around the map. Usually, of course, those medevacs are quite annoying and all over the place.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few units all over the place. The Adepts, Viking, medevac, observers, you know, of course, because TAiLS wants to get into a macro game, but unfortunately the way that he set up for it was just, it's not very ideal at all. He's only just now getting his blink done, and his army isn't that humongous. Like, it's...
Humongous what?
I seriously... Whatever, anyways.
I'm sorry. That was really for like the one other person in the audience who finds that as funny as I do.
I mean, I have no idea if it's funny or not, because I've literally never, like, seen this thing that you're talking about, so I'm just like, okay. How does... Anyway, yeah, Stalker's gonna try and do some, like, neat work and, like, try and buy time, along with the Warp Prism, which does come over and pick up the Adepts, but this is just, it's a lot to ask for. Ryung's army is going to be... It's not gonna be, like, again, like, humongous, but it is still gonna be, like, 15 supply up. And he's going to be able to focus entirely on the attack, so his tank micro should be on point. And TAiLS is going to have trouble breaking the siege line, especially with the Widow Mines helping out. Even the Liberators, of course, now on the way. These ones are getting cleaned up, it looks like, but he has more in production.
Well, this big attack coming around the top side of the map from Ryung is looking real scary. He's scanning ahead too to make sure it's safe to go in. No surprise Colossus, no immediate disruptors. There really is nothing here. When it's just gateway units, your Marauders are king.
Yeah. The Adepts are about to have +1 armor as well, and the Resident Glaives. There we go. I have to be careful of the Widow Mines, and the tanks are still getting a lot of splash damage. If they're not taking the Adepts down super quickly, it's just a lot of damage spread over a lot of different units. Seems a couple of Immortals would certainly be very helpful. Dealing with the Widow Mine somehow would be helpful as well. I think he intentionally didn't cancel one Adept to try and get some splash damage. That was kind of a cool idea. Or a mistake, I'm not sure, but... not too useful. More Widow Mines covering in. Like, he's going to cover his Liberators and his tanks in multiple ways. TAiLS is just going to have to take a direct engagement, which I don't see going that well for him. Ryung is up about 30 army supply.
it's not even just the type of supply or army supply. It's always going to come down to that type. The liberators and the tanks do such a good job zoning. You don't usually see widow mines that much, but these ones are absolutely fantastic. They burrow to cover the army. If those adepts transfer through, they're going to take some massive hits. The stalkers pick on top of the widow mines. A big mistake is made, and Ryung demolishes the army supply of his opponent. The liberators still uncontested in the sky, only an immortal on the ground, a couple of adepts, and that's going to be game. That's going to be serious.
Yes, it is. Ryung takes the 2-0 and will advance on to the round of 16, I think. I have so many tabs open right now. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, round of 16.
Nice. But we may be swapping gears to another series. We had mentioned before we did want to take a look at innovation versus natural, and I believe that's on the bracket. I just don't know if that's been on hold for us or not. So we will probably squeeze in our first commercial break of the day, guys, while we find out. Hopefully, but when we're back, it's going to be innovation versus natural. But if that's unavailable for whatever reason, we will try and find another good match.
Yep, so I'll see you guys in a few.